What's happening, good people? Welcome to the Wealth 100 Show. I'm your host, George Gilmore, and it's go time. Listen, guys, each week we bring on six-figure professionals and entrepreneurs who are winning in life and business. If you're ready to take your life to the next level, you found the right place. I need you to get into the room right now, guys. I'm putting you in the room with winners that will help push you towards your dreams. Finally, if you want to grow your business, grow your network, and live your dreams to the fullest, I encourage you to apply to the Wealth 100 Mastermind at thewealth100.com, where lives are being transformed through self-development and access to wealth-building opportunities. Welcome to the Wealth 100 Show. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Wealth 100 Show. I am your host, George Gilmore. Listen, guys, we have a special guest in the building, one of my good friends, one of my best friends at this point in life. We've been friends for 30 years, and I finally got him in the studio, Mr. James Montague of F7 Development International, or F7 International Development. Let me get it right. What's going on, my friend?
All right. Listen, good to be here, my friend.
Thank you for coming in, man.
Yes, sir.
Listen, guys, this guy is a master commercial real estate developer. Residential real estate developer. He develops strip centers, shopping malls, hospitals. What else? I don't know. But anyway, guys, welcome to the show. Let me introduce you to my friend, James Montague. What's going on, man? Tell the people about you and a little bit about what you do.
First off, George, it's a pleasure to be here, my friend. We've been friends for decades, and I finally got here to do your show, so I'm just honored to be here.
Good. Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So a little bit about myself. My name is James Montague, Monty, as most people call me.
That's right. If you know him as Monty.
If you know me as Monty. And if you're a bill collector or government, that's James Montague. It's my government name. But yeah, born and raised in Southeast Raleigh, from the projects of Southgate. Started out cutting hair in my mom's kitchen when I was like 14 years old. Went from doing that to barber school, cosmetology school, and just went into commercial real estate development back in the mid-90s.
Gotcha.
Just been doing it ever since.
Well, let's take me back. We're going to go all the way back to Southeast Raleigh. Little Monty running around, what's it, Southgate? Southwest. If you know Raleigh, North Carolina. Yeah. Talk to me about that. Little Montague running around. What was going on back then, man?
Sure. Well, you know, Southgate, we didn't have a whole lot of money going on out there. You know, I started cutting my hair out of necessity when I was like 12. Okay. Mom was like, listen, we ain't going to the barbershop no more. You got to learn how to cut your own hair. And so I started cutting my own hair, gapping it up at first, but after a while I got good. And then the neighbors started coming over. And then the other neighbors started talking about me. So I started cutting hair for like 50 cents in a pack of Kool-Aid.
Why Kool-Aid, sir?
Well, Kool-Aid because they used to have what's called a proof of purchase seal on the back. Yeah. So you could cut all those out. Yeah. All right. Get a stamp, mail them back to the corporation, and they'll send you like T-shirts, underwear, you know, Kool-Aid picture. Everybody wanted that Kool-Aid picture. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
So you had the entrepreneurial mindset already. Yes. Like, let me get these labels off the back of this Kool-Aid packet. I've never heard nobody say that.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Look, you do what you got to do, man.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? But so I started doing that. But that let me know that, first of all, when you come to my house, when I cut your hair, you give me the 50-cent pack of Kool-Aid, but then you can drink Kool-Aid. I give you Kool-Aid while you're getting your hair cut, while you're in the waiting room.
You never told me that.
Yeah. We had a whole thing going on, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, bro. And then when the 2600 came out, that Atari.
Oh, what were you doing with that?
Man, look, we playing combat.
All at your mom's
tennis,
crib.
all that at my mom's crib. You know, because it was just, at the time it was just the tennis. You know,
right.
So you know, we had that set up, and then when Pac-Man came out, it was a wrap.
So that was it.
Yeah, so everybody would come to the house. We had a little cartridge you put in a 2600. So people come to my house, we play the game, get a haircut, drink Kool-Aid.
He had a full-blown barbershop going out of your mom. Where were you at, in the den? Where were you in?
It was in the kitchen. In the kitchen. And the waiting room was the living room.
Oh, my God.
So we basically, So we basically took over my mom's crib. And shout out to my mom because she didn't kick us out.
That's right. Your mom was always supportive.
Yeah, she was, man. But that was crazy because we would have a house full of kids. I'm talking like 20, 30 kids packed up in the living room every single day.
Okay. So transition, you're cutting hair. How long you kept cutting hair, but so you're 12 years old. How long did you stay in the den cutting hair?
Till I was like 16. And then 17, I went to barber school.
You did go to barber, because I'm going to ask you about take me back to high school. What high school did you go to?
I went to Broughton.
Yeah. Came out of Broughton, and then you went after high school?
Yeah, went straight to barber school.
Okay.
Then when I graduated, the next week I was in barber school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long was the barber school program?
That was about a year and a half. And then from there, when I was about to end barber school, I went straight to cosmetology school.
I want to get to that. As a male, 18, 19-year-old black male, from the hood, Southeast Raleigh, what made you say, I'm going to get the barber? I get that part. Right. What made you want to add the cosmetology component to it? Because most guys wouldn't do that.
Well,
you were thinking something different.
Right. Well, I wanted to add another level of value.
Okay.
One thing I started to understand is that, when you limit yourself, when you limit your skill, then you limit your financial capability.
I get you.
So by me learning how to cut hair, ladies would come to me and say, well, man, I wish you could do this. I would let you do my hair. So I was like, oh, good idea. Really? So I went to cosmetology school, started really doing ladies' hair, got really good at it, doing platform artistry, working with Dudley's, taking all the extra classes, courses, traveling to Atlanta, Chicago, going to hair shows,
this
participating.
Is crazy.
Yeah, I was killing it with platform. I was really good at
this. This is crazy.
Hair. Yeah.
If y'all don't know who Dudley, tell them about who Dudley is. And that's how we ended up meeting each other. But tell them who Mr. Joe Dudley is, Dudley Hair Products.
Joe Dudley is the mentor for a lot of people. A lot of people looked up to Joe Dudley and look up to Joe Dudley. He was a multimillionaire. He created Dudley's products. And, that was the first, big time success that I saw of somebody that I actually knew and could say, man, I could talk to this guy. He's right here in Kernersville. Had all types of things, the Mastermind. That's how we actually linked up.
That's what, listen guys, we run the Wealth 100 Mastermind. Me and this guy met probably when we were 23, 24 years old at Mr. Joe Dudley's mansion at his Mastermind. How often did he do that Mastermind?
Man, he did it like
was it every Sunday or every other Sunday?
No, it was every week.
It was every week?
Every week.
So I would come from Fayetteville, North Carolina. This guy was coming from Raleigh, North Carolina. I was with my parents. He was with his mom. And he and I were the youngest people in the room. And that's when we met. That's the first Mastermind, and we have been connected since that day.
30-some years.
Ain't that crazy how somebody else's vision leads to what's going on now. I love it. But anyway.
And then Joe Dudley became one of my anchor tenants in one of my shopping centers.
He running up. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, he was my anchor tenant in the shopping center we had in Greensboro. Before the recession.
All right. So listen, guys, you got the foundation of where this guy's going. He goes from cutting hair in the kitchen to barber school to becoming a cosmetologist to working all over the country with Joe Dudley and anybody else in the hair space.
Right.
How do you get in your head? I want to own a shopping center, or I want to be a developer. Where does that come from? From a barber to a beautician to, I think I can be a developer.
Well, I actually at the time didn't even know what a developer was.
Right.
So I wasn't trying to be a developer. What I was trying to do is solve a problem.
Okay.
So one thing I do now is, it's not all about the glitz and glamour. People think development is glitz and glamour. It's anything but that.
Right.
It's hard work, it's grind, it's sacrifice. Sometimes it gets ugly, but I wasn't setting out to be a developer at all.
Okay.
I was just trying to solve a problem that I had, that I said, well, man, if this is a problem for me, what if I solve this for other people? Okay. So I'm always trying to add value.
What was the problem?
So the problem for me is that I was a tenant. I was leasing space over in Southeast Raleigh. And one day my landlord came to me and said, we sold the building, so you're gonna need to be out in 30 days. So I'm like, man, shut up, get out of here with that. I ain't paying no attention to him. Then he sent a letter. I'm like, I'm not leaving. It's like, no, it don't work like that. I didn't know how it worked.
Right.
Landlord tell you need to leave, you need to leave.
Right.
So I waited till one day, it was like on a Thursday. Joker came in with sledgehammer. They started knocking walls down. My people still up in there.
Really?
I got put out that day. And I determined that day, I was like, man, I don't want to be a tenant no more. This ain't a good thing.
It ain't gonna happen to me again.
Yeah. So, I went to rented a booth from a friend of mine for like 4 months, which was torture, because when you used to having your own, it's bad having to go back down.
Exactly.
And, either move back into your mom's house or move back into somebody else's space.
Okay.
I'm used to my own space.
Okay.
So from there, moved to Southgate.
Okay.
And then God gave me a vision to actually do my own shopping center.
So that's when the vision came for that. What year was that, Monty?
1996.
It was 6. Okay. I couldn't remember when it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So that had to be about, we met around 95, 96.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, because you were in the middle of that when I met you.
I was going through it.
Yeah, when I met you. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it was so stressful that I ended up, in doing that process after God gave me that vision, I knew what I was supposed to do, but didn't know how to do it.
Okay.
And you didn't have Google at the time. You didn't have YouTube.
Right.
You didn't have a whole bunch of resources that you have nowadays.
I love it.
It's you bumping your head against the wall. Oh, that don't work. Let me go over here, bump my head against that wall. So, but I ended up, man, at 26 years old, behind all this stress, having a stroke.
Okay, stop right there, as they say.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, this guy's decided he's going to build his own building. What size building were you going to build it?
At the time, in my head, I wanted what I wanted at first was just a space for a salon. So like 2,000 square feet.
I got you.
I wanted a building with 2,000 square feet.
I love it.
But, after you do the numbers, it's like, well, if I do this and pay for this infrastructure and do all these utilities and site work, it wouldn't have made no financial sense. So I said, well, let me do a 6,000, 7,000 square feet. So the first phase was actually a 7,000 square foot.
Who do you think you are, Mr. Young Black Male, Southeast Raleigh, grew up in the ghetto.
Right.
I'm going to build me a 6,000, 7,000. What's in your head, man? Because it's different. When I met the guy, he was already different. He was you were on another plane as far as your thinking. I always loved it. That's why I think we connected.
I was out there.
Yeah, you really.
Yeah. Well, so when you're so young, when you're so young and you think large enough, you don't really have people that can tell you, well, that won't work.
And that's the beauty.
Yeah. You don't have people that saying, well, you can't do that because nobody knows if you can do it or not. But the important thing is, do you believe it yourself? So I at that point did not believe that it was going to be as difficult as it was. It was difficult, but I didn't think it was going to be that difficult going in.
Take me back to the beginning. Okay, I'm going to build this building.
Right.
Take me through a little bit of that process and how it ended up affecting your health.
Sure. So what ended up happening was I know God gave me the vision to build this building. There was no blueprint for that. Still really not a blueprint for development now.
We're going to fix that now.
Right. We need to fix that. There's no blueprint for development. So, you learn from the school of hard knocks. So I would go to a bank. I would talk to a banker and say, I need this loan. Well, banks don't give you a loan because you need it. They give you a loan and back you because they feel like it's a worthy investment.
Right.
So I didn't understand that process. So what I ended up doing was I went to first bank, second bank, third bank. I actually ended up going to 18 different banks.
Ooh, boy.
But what I would do is I would learn from each one of those, what most people consider failures. I don't consider it failure. I always win.
Gotcha.
Either I win or I learn.
Talk to the people.
You see what I'm
you're
saying?
teaching class, master class, guys. This is a master class in entrepreneurship.
Right.
18 denials.
17 denials.
17 denials.
The 18 banks said, this is a beautiful piece of work because I had incorporated all of the no's into my process.
Gotcha.
So every time somebody say, well, you don't have your performance right.
I love it.
Okay. I would say, okay, no problem. I'll fix the performance. Okay, well, you don't have your finances right. Okay, well, I don't have that. Okay. So that's what I would do.
Did you catch that, guys? The 17 no's basically developed the plan, the blueprint for what you needed to do.
Correct.
And it got you in the right space to move forward.
Correct.
Okay, now talk to me about what happened with the health during this process.
Well, I mean, nowadays you look back and be like, oh yeah, it was 18 times, but when you're going through the process, man, it can affect you. It starts to affect how you think you can actually do things. I actually started doubting myself a little bit. Like, wow, after the 10th time, it's like, man, for real?
Right.
Is this difficult? Is this even possible?
Right.
So what I started doing was I started really getting more into the word and understanding what God had for me.
Specifically for you.
Specifically for me.
Yeah.
I started reading a lot of the Proverbs and Ecclesiastes and learning how to incorporate that word into my form of business, which is F7 development. Actually stands for faith in action.
I was getting. I know you've told me before. But I was like, what F7? What is the F for?
It stands for faith in action.
Gotcha.
Which means that you're going to fall down. It's not important that you fall down, but if you get back up,
yes, sir.
That's the most important fall. And when you fall down, it's important that you look up because if you look up, you can get up.
Talk to them. I love that.
So that's what faith F7 stands for.
Gotcha.
And it's just not a name. We incorporate it into the very way that we do our business.
Gotcha.
You know, everything is, you know, we meditate on things, we pray on things, and we don't move forward until we feel like we can add value.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Listen, guys, follow this guy. I'm telling you, if you're interested in commercial development, regular residential development, anything in that space, you need to know Mr. James Montague of F7 International Development. Listen, tell the people about the time when you did have a stroke. Was it a mini stroke or a full-blown stroke?
It was
during this is the first project, guys.
Yeah.
It's the first project.
The first project.
Tell them about that. What happened?
Well, I mean, so what happened was, you know, I had a headache for like 3 weeks straight.
Wow.
I mean, backache, headache. I mean, it was just, but it felt like it was a part of the job because I honestly doing hair and standing up, you know, I was working 7 days a week at a time, you know, trying to get it. 15 hours a day, 14 hours a day, working 7 days a week, not taking off on Sunday, living off a baby roof and sun kiss. You know what I mean? And Cheetos.
You are tripping.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, when you working like that, you don't have time for no home cooked meals.
Exactly.
You know, you're not spending time with your family. You're not really exercising. You're actually working all the time. You grinding. You know, I'm from the project, so you have to grind. Ain't nobody giving you nothing.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that I did right because, you know, when you abuse your body, you only got one body.
Yeah.
You know, and all the money in the world don't mean nothing if you ain't here to enjoy it.
Right.
You see, so, you know, living off of Sun Kiss and Baby Ruth and Doritos and Fritos and Funyuns.
I'm never gonna forget this.
You know what I'm saying? That's not good. That's not good living.
Got you.
So you know, I'll never forget it. So I had a headache for like three weeks. Didn't go to the doctor or anything like that. Just started taking Dome's back pills and Tylenol every day, all day. One Saturday morning though, it was really intense, and I had like 18 clients. So at the time I was cutting hair. You remember I was cutting hair. I was doing curls. Yeah. I was doing perms. I had colors going on. So I had 18 clients for that Saturday, right? Saturday morning, as I'm doing hair, it's probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know, people start walking by me real slow, like looking, like not just looking at the style. I thought they were looking at my people.
They looking at you.
They looking at me.
Got you.
So I'm sitting there still working. I'm not even thinking about nobody. Everybody kept walking by looking. I'm like, get up, just go. I got this. So what ended up happening was, you know, about an hour after this, my mom came in the door. What had happened was my friend Candy, who works for me still to today, she's been with 30-something years working for me. She called my mother and told my mother, you need to come check your son. Okay. What happened was I was having a mini stroke. Wow. So my eye and my mouth was already twitching like this. So people were looking at me wondering, you don't feel that? And I did not feel it. I was focused on that head, you know, focused on trying to just, the pain. I didn't feel the pain because I had just taken Tylenol. So I'm doing this. So my mother comes in and she immediately stops at the door, which is like 50 feet away. She knows something is off. And she calls, she says, "Mom, come here." And I'm like, "Mom, no, I'm doing hair. I got people right now. Hold on, let me come in a minute." She says, "Come here now." And I'm like, "I got people." And I turned around, she said, "Unless you want to fight, you come here right now." And I was like, let me go see my mom. I'm not fighting my mom. You know what I mean? So I goes over there, she turns me around, I look in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, shoot. You know, they ain't gonna say it, but shoot. Like, what? So I look, and she says, you need to go to the hospital now. So I'm like, well, hold on, I got a few more people. See, that's how sick I was in my mind. I'm like, yo, I got to get this. You know, I'll go later. I'm stroking out.
Wow, man.
You know, so that is a mental thing that I had going on. So Mom was like, no, you go to the car right now. So went back in the shop. I told my ladies that I was doing hair. I said, I'll be right back. So I'm still trying in my mind, like, I'll be back. I'm gonna whatever they're gonna do, but I'll be right back, bro. I didn't do any hair after then. I was not allowed to go back and do hair. So she took me to the hospital. By the time I got to the hospital, went to Wake Med, which is like 5 minutes up the way. Didn't have insurance. So they turned me down. I went to another hospital, up on 6 Forks, Wake Forest Road. And by the time I got to the hospital, I was full out stroke. Wow. I mean, full out stroke. Lost my sight temporarily. Really? Yeah. I mean, it was bad by the time I got there. Okay. Yeah. So they ended up having to put old boy in a straitjacket because I was going crazy. When you lose your sight, I'm looking at you now. You just boy, you go out there. Wow. So I went out there. They gave me a lumbar puncture, epidural, whatever they call it, and it relaxed me totally. I woke up like 2 days later.
Really? And
it was like, the doctor said you almost died.
Man.
And you can't, he said, whatever you were doing, you can't ever go back to doing that.
Walking miracle.
Which, I was doing hair. I loved doing hair.
Right.
That's all I ever knew.
Right.
I never had a real job like talking about it.
So that, I think, this is my opinion, that moment was the transformation for you, because when I met you, it was after that. I met you right after that, a little bit after that, and your mindset was just, I'm like, this dude is, I was like, this man is out of space with the stuff you were thinking and coming up with, the brilliance.
Right.
But you had a different perspective on life at that point.
I did.
I'm going to take the world, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, the perspective was that I promised God if you got me out of this, I remember that's my last thought before I went out when they gave me that shot. I was like, Lord, if you bring me out of this, because we ain't been close. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You look, it's me over here. So, if you bring me out of this right here,
I'm gonna do it right.
I'm gonna do right.
How long did you lose your eyesight for, man?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
I know when I went out, I didn't have eyesight. When I woke up, I had eyesight.
Miracle.
Yes. Thank the Lord. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's powerful there. That's powerful stuff, man.
Oh, that's deep too. That's kind of symbolic though, ain't it? When I went to sleep, I was blind, and when I woke up, I could see. Oh, that's crazy.
Y'all want to have church at the Well 100 today.
Pass the hat, man. That's deep.
Have church
yeah, that's deep.
Talk to the folks.
Money can be sent to.
Pass the plate.
Right, yeah.
Oh, my God. Listen, man. This is going to be the first episode of at least 2.
Okay.
Because I know you got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But I know you got to go to an awards banquet later on today.
Gotta get
out of here. But talk to me a little bit about, don't tell me where you are yet. Talk to me about the projects that you've done over the last 10, 15 years. We don't want to get to the big boy yet. We're going to get to the big boy, but name some of the things you've done.
We did, that first shopping center was called Statue Side Business Plaza on MLK and Rock Quarry Road. Built that for like 1.7, like 20 something years ago. Okay. That area has exploded. Value now is probably $3-4 million for that same building. We did, the next project was a commerce center in Raleigh. Bought that. That was a convenience store. We gutted it out. Turned into different spaces for rent, then built a new building on the back of that. Okay. Then we went to Elders Peak. Elders Peak was a retirement home. I built that in 2004. It was a tax credit deal. Okay. I built that for $4.8 million, been offered like $10 million for it. Okay. Still didn't take it. I still own all my stuff. Okay. Then we renovated 712. We did Greensboro, Commerce Center in Greensboro. Lost that after the recession. Gonna get that back, but the recession took that one.
Gotcha.
Many projects, and currently, if you want to talk about,
we ain't gonna
wait on that.
Okay. Talk to me. I know you did a deal in Africa at some point.
Sure.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Built a hospital in Oshobo, Nigeria, in Africa. It was a trilateral agreement. We did a government deal with the Chinese government, Nigerian government, and then our partners in Asheville. We did a hospital project. A women's birthing center in Oshobo, Nigeria, which is had the highest infant mortality rate in that part of the world.
Tell the people, how does this guy get to Nigeria, building a hospital with the Nigerian government, the Chinese? Right. How in the world does that come to be? How does that come?
Well, understanding that, it's just not about me, it's about service and service to a larger portion of the world. Okay. You can't just say that, well, I'm only going to do things in this little section right here. If somebody across the world needs me, I'm going to be there for that. If I say no, I may be blocking my own blessing. And as I said, it may work, it may not work, but if it don't work, I'm going to learn in the process. I'm still not going to lose. Even if you lose money, you're still not going to lose, because that lesson, whatever it costs or whatever you lost, that was the cost of that lesson. The shopping center I lost in Greensboro, I lost $1.4 million in equity in one day. But guess what? I learned a $1.4 million lesson on that day.
Look, I was going to get to that later. I'm glad you brought, but I'm thinking it right now in my head. Right. Listen, guys, I was with Mr. Montague. What year was that? We were sitting in your car, in your truck. 2000,
and so they called a note in 2008.
2008?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you were with me.
I was with you
when they made the call.
2008, guys. We're in Greensboro, North Carolina. Listen, if you're an entrepreneur, I'd say this all the time. There are ups, there are downs. There are ups and there are downs. I don't even know why I was with you that day. You had me doing something, going with you to look at some property.
Yeah.
We went to Greensboro, North Carolina. This guy owned the biggest shopping center across the street from North Carolina A&T State University. How big was that? 20,000?
It's 34,000 square feet.
34,000 square foot across from North Carolina A&T University. I'm sitting in the truck with him, and his bank calls the loan, and I watched this dude literally lose, what you said, $1.4 million
right then.
Literally in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye. Talk to the people. I didn't want to get to this yet, but talk to people about overcoming that, because I want to talk to you about some of the biggest challenges. I know that was a major challenge to you. Talk to this audience about getting knocked in the head for $1.4 million.
Well, first of all, you was with me. You know I cried like a damn baby. So, I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I was like, for real. Do you know how long it takes to build that type of equity?
Yeah.
So that was an emotional time for me. But that hurt, man. That stung right there. And it was embarrassing, because you work so hard, you do so much, you sacrifice so much, and then to have something snatched away from you.
Yes, sir.
Just because somebody loses confidence in you, not because of anything that you did, but because they say, well, we're just going to call all the notes on all our commercial folks.
Right.
And you just happen to be the third one today we're going to call.
Right.
It was in 2008, man, that recession was rough.
Yeah.
If people didn't go through that, they don't understand.
They don't know.
They don't.
It's coming.
They don't know. I mean, and look, the crazy part about it is it happens in cycles. That's why I'm always preparing.
Exactly. You know now, though.
I know now.
You know what to do.
So that lesson cost me.
Yourself.
Yeah, and that was a costly lesson, but I know what to do now to protect myself. Okay. But that hurt.
Let's talk a little bit about the project. I think this is the biggest one you've done to date, the project that you're working on now.
Okay. Which one?
Durham.
Okay, so that one is called Fayette Place. So we submitted for an RFP, and when I say we, it's me, my partners, Gilbane and Greystone, which are both Fortune 500 companies, and F7 International. We formed a joint venture agreement to go after this RFP. We won the RFP. The project is a $472 million project, which we'll do like a 700 some apartments. Total together is going to be 1,000 apartments.
Okay.
So it's two different sites. One is a 20-acre site right across the street from downtown. It's a part, actually, the historic Hayti area. Okay. Very significant black area. A lot of positive, progressive black folks during the Black Wall Street time.
Exactly. Black Wall Street in Durham, North Carolina, guys. Look it up.
Yep.
Look it up.
Black Wall Street. So when the government ran the highway through, it was called 147, it decimated the black community.
The government plan.
Government plan, right.
All over the nation.
What do they call it? Something renewal, urban renewal, something else like that. Did not renew anything.
Destroyed.
Right, destroyed it, decimated it. So what we're intending on doing is doing a rebirth of Black Wall Street.
Got you.
So we're going to do innovation center. We're doing apartments, like we said. We're doing some home ownership opportunities where it comes to, we're doing 43 townhouses. Okay. And primarily my company is responsible for the townhouses and the innovation center. I'm also a partner in the apartments. Okay. So on that site, we're doing like maybe 680 something apartments. I love it. Affordable.
I love it. Talk to me a little bit about your plans for scaling and where are you going right now? Where's F7 going? Where are you going?
Well, what we're doing is, because we have a system now, I don't live in Durham. I live in Raleigh. Right. But because I've been able to do successful things and do retirement homes, actually we're doing a retirement home at Fayette Place as well. Okay. So because I've been successful in doing these different types of projects, I know the ins and outs of them. I know what it takes to make them work. I got you. So why would I limit myself to just being in the city I was born and raised? Got you. I can go over here. I can go over here. I can do these types of projects anywhere. All I need to do is find the right need and then figure out a way to satisfy that need through a process that I've developed over the years. Okay. So I'm always looking for opportunities and figuring out ways that I can help people and create solutions to solve the problems.
I got you. Talk to my entrepreneurs out there, the guys that are just starting, ready to go. Give them some advice. Talk to them a little bit. Give them some, I'm trying to get this thing off the ground. Sure. What it's going to look like, and what do they got to do?
Well, first of all, they need to remember they are the 5 people that they hang around. And I know this seems unrelated.
Oh my God, you're just skipping all over my question. I got that one for you. Bro, I love it.
Yeah, but they got to understand that first. Because if you don't have people that believe in you or that, y'all don't have to do the same thing.
Correct.
But you have to complement each other's skill set. So, developers don't have to hang with each other. You know, a developer can hang with an attorney. An attorney can hang with a banker,
right,
or an architect or engineer. So there are people, or accountant. Yes. So you got to have people that complement your skill set, and you guys have to have the same vision. And you got to remember that is very important when it comes to any type of business that you want to start, but especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, because you're gonna have some rough days.
Got you. Listen, guys. You know, I'm the founder of the Wealth 100 Mastermind. Also, Mr. Montague is a member.
Yep.
Not only a member, he's a mentor and a coach in our group.
Yeah.
He just talked about the 5 people you hang around, your circle of influence.
Yes.
I am telling you right now, you need to get off of that island that you're on. You need to get into a room. It don't have to be the Wealth 100, but I'm telling you, if you want to get into a room that can help you transition from where you are to where you want to go, you need to get into the Wealth 100 Mastermind. Listen, I'm going to do an ad right here in the middle. We'll be in Atlanta, June 24th, 25th. This is 2023. We'll be in Buckhead somewhere. We will have an intro event to Masterminds. You need to be in that room. Check us out at thewealth100.com. I'm trying to make sure Monty will be there. I don't know if you'll be there or not. We're going to talk about that a little bit, because I hadn't really told you everything what we plan to do for that weekend. But I wanted to see if I can make sure you can be there that weekend. Get in the room, guys. I'm telling you, get off the island by yourself. You need to be around a team of people that's going to help you win. So talk to me about mentorship a little bit.
Sure.
Who have been your biggest mentors?
My biggest mentors when it comes to relationships and service and how to treat people, my mother.
Always.
I know that's strange to say.
No, it's not. I already know where you were going.
Yeah. So when it comes to actually networking, John Ray, Joe Dudley, you know, folks like that.
Yes, sir.
John Ray is a friend of ours. He's a mastermind when it comes to networking and understanding. You got to open up your mouth. What's say, closed mouth don't get fed.
Eagles sit up front.
Eagles sit up front. You know, you can be an eagle or a pigeon. You choose.
You got to know to know.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, those are some of the mentors that I've over the years, you know, listened to and try to hang around, and you know.
Let's take it back. We're going to come down now as we start to go toward the exit. Talk to me about your morning routine, because I know you got one.
Sure.
I already know. Tell the people what you do specifically.
Specifically, what I do is, man, I've been doing this for like 20-some years. I get up at like 3:30 in the morning.
Jesus Christ.
3:30, I do my prayer meditation to like 4:35. Then I exercise. Then I start my day. And then what I do is, you know, my day is broke up into 2 parts. So I go from there to 12. And I go home, take my old man nap, or wherever I'm at.
So you time stacking too.
Yeah, I'm
hearing it over and over again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It.
So then about 1 o'clock, I'm up again. So I start my second day. So I get 2 days out of one day.
I love it.
So from 1 to 5, I'm doing something totally different. I try to do this thing here. If it's development on this side, I'll do my new projects then, and then by the other part of the day, I devote that to either new initiatives, older initiatives, and check on the status of current projects. But right now we got, you know, multiple houses going. We got shopping center going right now, Montague Plaza. We're about to start on Falcons Point. We're about to start on the Innovation Center, Fayette Place. So, I mean, that's a lot.
Got you.
So that I don't get overwhelmed and stressed.
Got you.
See, I gotta moderate my stress. I pay attention to my breathing. I drink a lot of water. You know, these are basic things, but people forget about them.
Right.
And also, I'm very cautious of what I allow to go into my mind.
Talk.
I don't watch really television.
You don't?
No, I don't do that.
I've been in your house 100 times.
Yeah.
It's a TV in there.
Yeah. I don't know how to turn it on.
I'm gonna say it's never on.
No, I never turn it on.
It's never on when I come in your house.
Man, my granddaughter came over last month and was like, "Granddad, turn TV on." I'm looking at her like, I don't know how to work this thing.
There you go.
You know, but I don't really mess with TV.
You've been like that for so long, though, man. Like, bro, I don't watch TV.
You know why?
I have the TV on.
Yeah.
But I don't watch it like that. People's like, "What's your show?" I don't have a show. You know, it's on just for noise sake, but I'm doing other stuff.
And I'm gonna be real with you. I stopped watching TV, man, because after 2008, I lost that shopping center. Man, I kind of went into depression, bro.
Right. I recall.
You know that?
I recall.
I watched TV for 4 years. Bro, I watched The Heat of the Night. Yeah, I watched Matlock all day. I watched The Heat of the Night. I watched the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh my God!
I watched all the Law and Orders. Every character on Law and Order, I knew what they story was.
Oh
I did that for 4 years.
And do you remember this? Look, we just talking now.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Me and my mom came by your house one day.
Yeah.
And we were sitting in the car. You came out, you were talking. Yeah. And we were talking about, you were talking about the depression and whatnot. And she could see it in you. Yeah. And she asked you, what was that conversation?
Man, I don't remember that. Man, that was a blur, bro.
You don't remember?
Oh, tell me.
And she asked you, sir, you still in this house?
Yeah.
You still got...
Yeah. Your mom basically like snap out of, boy, you still at the highest level.
Bro, you're winning.
Yeah, but
you're winning. But that one deal.
That L, boy, that L got me, that L.
For 4 years.
4 years.
That's crazy.
That L took me down because I was like, man, because like I said, bro, that's embarrassing, man. So I'm like, but I had to understand. That conversation with your mom made a real difference because she was like, you sit here complaining. Excuse me for not feeling. You still got millions of dollars worth of real estate.
Exactly.
You still
might not have no cash like
you
that,
ain't got that cash. Yeah. They took that.
Yeah.
But instead of thanking God for what you have,
that was the conversation.
You're complaining for what something went bad.
That was the conversation.
So wake up.
I remember.
You remember that?
She never forgot.
Man, I remember that. Now that you said that, bro, but it snapped me out of it. I'm
gonna get you wound up because I know you got to get up out of here. I'm gonna ask you a few personal questions.
Sure.
Describe yourself in one word.
Tenacious.
When did you become who you are? When did this, you became it at some point prior to becoming it.
Yeah.
When did you become you?
After I had that stroke.
After the stroke.
He
took it back. That's when it.
Yeah, because I didn't know who I was. I was just, honestly, I was just a dude doing hair, making money until I had that stroke. And honestly, I thought I was going to do hair for the rest of my life. I'll be fine with that.
You'd have been fine.
I'd have been good with that.
I love it. What dreams do you have left unachieved?
You know what? I don't. It's time to dream more. You know why? Because I've lived my dreams. I'm living my dream now. Cool. So it's time for me to apply to God to give me more dreams and more vision so I can bless more people.
I love it, bro. You smashing them. Are you finding fulfillment in what you do?
Definitely.
If you could go back to your 18-year-old self, what would you say to yourself?
First of all, I say stop eating that damn junk food. Are you kidding me? I'll be like, man, what is wrong with you?
You are insane.
Put them chitlins down. I used to love chitlins. Man, chitlins and hot sauce is my favorite thing, bro.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't eat no meat no more though.
Yeah, I know. How long you been off meat? I've
been off meat since. Actually, I got off meat when I was like. After the
joint. Okay. Yeah. I know every time we go out to eat, like, I want some asparagus and this and that. I'm like, what is he eating? You gotta eat healthy. You eat a big plate, but it's never meat on it.
Yeah, vegetables and fruits and salads and stuff like that.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't do meats, man. It's too much on your system for me. That's personally.
I know you've been getting a lot of awards for social impact around the nation. Actually, talk about a few of those awards right now, if you can.
Last year, I got an award from the state of North Carolina for my work in doing hub work.
Historically underutilized businesses.
Correct.
Okay.
I got appreciation award from that. Last year I got Newsmaker of the Year from the Triangle Tribune, which is huge.
Gotcha.
Let me see, what else did I get? So I got like 5 awards last year. Okay. And this year I got 2 so far. Okay. Actually, I got one today.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the award today for?
That is social impact. That is from the Chinese community.
Okay.
So the Chinese community called me about a month ago and told me, look, we want to give you an award for all the things you're doing to make North Carolina a better place and make the world a better place.
Gotcha.
So that's a big function that this afternoon at 1:30.
Okay. All right. Look, we're going to get you out of here. This is interview number 1 of probably many more to come. Yes, this is my homeboy. This is my friend, guys. Yes, sir. Listen, where can the people find you at on social media? Because y'all need to tap in with this guy.
Right.
Where can they find you at? Do you remember where you are?
Yeah, I was saying James Montague on Facebook, just James Montague. On Instagram, it is Montes F7, Montes F7. Okay. And then LinkedIn is also James Montague.
Yeah, your LinkedIn been popping too, because my phone, I just opened it before you came in. Yeah. You popped up. I'm like, what is he got going on today?
A lot of people post stuff. I don't know how to post that.
I know you don't.
So people post it and I like it.
Right.
And then I try to share it.
Got you.
But as far as, so it's been jumping. Listen. My social media been jumping.
Yeah, I know. Listen, man, I want to thank you for coming in today. Yes, it's 11. You told me you had to be out of here at 11:30. It's 11:13. So I'm going to get you.
My man.
Get you back to where you need to get. I said it. We got to get you out. You coming back. But listen, guys, I thank you so much, Monty.
Yes, sir.
For blessing the people with the knowledge and the information that you have. Listen, guys, I thank you for tuning in to the Wealth 100 show. I ask that you like and subscribe and share this podcast. Go to YouTube, like, subscribe, and share if you would. Thank you again. This has been the Wealth 100 show. I am your host, George Gilmore. Go to thewealth100.com right now. If you need to get off of that island and get in a room with winners, we can help you out, guys. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Wealth 100 show. Today's show has been sponsored by the Wealth 100 Mastermind. If you're ready to join a tribe of winners, if you want to be a part of the best mastermind on the planet, go to thewealth100.com right now and apply. I need you to get into the room right now, guys. Let's go. Thewealth100.com.